Up, the nation's fourth largest bank now owes billions of dollars in fines after spending years using its customers' identities to create phony accounts. And now to Nevada. The third primary contest is happening today. We are looking ahead to the Nevada caucus. It is Saturday, February 22nd, 2020. You are up on the bright side. It's chilly Saturday morning. Thanks for starting here with us. I'm Josh Sidorowicz.
And I'm meteorologist Natalie Ferrari.
We'll bring the warmth.
We'll try our hardest.
Demeanor and
yeah. And really just hopefully calmer winds, which will make things feel more pleasant.
I want to know, people who are watching, is this cold or is this comfortable?
Oh, no.
I know where you fall.
Oh, no.
I'm quite comfortable. I like it.
You slept with the windows open again, didn't you? It's so cold outside. I was like, when should I turn the heaters on? That's what I want to know. Did you guys have to turn the heat on at all yesterday or last night?
No need.
Some folks, it felt like freezing at some point, especially north of the Nature Coast, just because of those windy conditions. So let's go ahead and kick things off on this Saturday morning. It's just going to feel a lot more comfortable once we get into the afternoon hours, unless you're like Josh, and then you're just pretty pristine and pretty comfortable to go out the door right now. We'll talk more about your weekend plans and when that inevitable warm-up will arrive coming up.
I'm telling you, I don't mind it. Each his own. We do want to make the most of the time you've got with us this morning, so let's get you in the know. A former school employee accused of body slamming a 12-year-old boy who skipped the lunch line is due in court this morning. Dante Thomas, he worked at AMI Kids School in Pinellas Park. He is the second employee to be arrested in this case. The 12-year-old boy, he wound up in the hospital with a fractured skull, among other injuries. Police, though, previously arrested this man, a behavioral interventionist named Jarvis West. They arrested him for not reporting this incident. This morning, police in Clearwater are looking for the thieves who broke into two different medical marijuana dispensaries, one on Bayway Boulevard, the other on US 19 North. That second break-in, police say, happened at 4:20 a.m. Investigators say they have seen similar break-ins around the state, including in Lakeland. Officers, they want to hear from you if you know anything about either of these incidents. A Florida Highway Patrol trooper's murder was unprovoked and premeditated. That is according to the Martin County Sheriff, who says Trooper Joseph Bullock was shot and killed by a 28-year-old driver stranded on the side of the road. Investigators say that driver, Franklin Reed, he got so upset that he'd have to pay for a tow truck that he ambushed Bullock in his cruiser while he was filling out paperwork. Reed was then shot and killed by an off-duty officer who happened to drive by the scene. A new trial for an ice cream truck driver accused of murder could start as soon as May. Jurors, they couldn't reach a verdict Friday in the case involving Michael Keatley, so a judge declared a mistrial. Keatley is accused of shooting 6 men, killing 2 of them in 2010. Investigators say that he had thought that some of those men had robbed and shot him earlier that year in an ambush. So now under Florida law, prosecutors have 90 days from a mistrial to bring a new trial.
I want to know where JJ and Tylee are, and whatever they have to do to give us as family members that closure.
The mother of a missing brother and sister since September, fighting extradition to Idaho, Lori Vallow is being held on $5 million bond for charges of deserting her children and delaying legal attempts to find them. CBS News has learned Vallow's financial records reveal she has not spent any money to care for her children since September, and prescriptions for her 7-year-old son's autism medicine have gone unfilled. Authorities are also investigating the suspicious deaths of her former husband and the death of her current husband's former wife. Wells Fargo is going to have to pay up billions of dollars in fines after the discovery that employees had opened up millions of phony accounts using actual customers' names, though, of course, these customers had no knowledge of this. Under the $3 billion settlement, the bank also admits to wrongly collecting millions of dollars in fees and interest from its customers. In 2016, investigators discovered that employees had been opening checking, savings, debit, and credit card accounts using customers' identities, even forging their signatures in order to meet the company's sales quotas. Well, we are in the third week now of the new XFL, and the Tampa Bay Vipers are finally having their first home game. They are hosting the Houston Roughnecks at Ray J. That is this afternoon at 2 o'clock. The third contest in the race for the Democratic nomination for president happens across Nevada today. Senator Bernie Sanders is leading polls in that state by double digits. The campaigns for Senators Elizabeth Warren and former Mayor Mike Bloomberg are hoping that this week's debate in Nevada will give them a boost. Nearly 75,000 Democrats in the state have already turned out for early voting. In both Iowa and New Hampshire, Sanders and Mayor Pete Buttigieg tied for the highest number of delegates won. Security is, of course, a big priority heading into this 2020 election as well. CBS News confirming that intelligence officials briefed lawmakers that Russia is interfering again already, saying they're trying to boost President Trump's re-election chances and influence Bernie Sanders' campaign. Florida's primary less than a month away now, and this is video here of election leaders in Hillsborough County testing out their ballot machines to address any concerns about interference here.
You know, there's a lot of talk.
So far, Hillsborough County Supervisor of Elections office has sent out 172,000 vote-by-mail ballots for the March 17th closed primary. They say they've received about 48,000 of those back so far. There are 867,000 registered voters in Hillsborough County. All right, we want to help you get ready for the Real ID rollout. If your license does not have one of those stars on the top right corner, you're not going to be able to fly come this October. Real IDs, they are meant to be more secure. The decision to switch over actually dates back to 2005 when Congress started enacting recommendations from the 9/11 Commission. You can get yours by visiting the DMV and showing a valid ID, passport or birth certificate, proof of your Social Security number and birth date, plus 2 items proving where you live. Starting October 1st, you will need a Real ID to board a plane or to get into a federal building or onto a military base. Lawmakers are also proposing to have a TSA pre-check count as a Real ID.
And as someone who just got their new one lately,
Are you all set?
good to go.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I've got the TSA pre-check. I still got to take care of the Real
Yeah.
ID. We'll see how that works. All right, let's be honest for a minute. You go to a basketball game, you go for the full sporting atmosphere, right? You want it all.
Yeah.
But there are all those games and stuff to get people pumped up, including, of course, the mascot at the game. That helps with the atmosphere, right?
Yeah, we'll check this out.
612, you are up on the bright side. Let's go through what is happening today. There are actually 3 ways that you can support our local first responders. Largo Fire Rescue hosting a fundraiser open house from noon until 3 this afternoon. They'll have food trucks. You can even ride in a fire engine or get your face painted. All of the money helps people in Largo who have been displaced because of house fires, so a very good cause. Also this morning, you can get a car wash at the Northwest Pool in St. Petersburg. St. Pete Fire Department and Aquatics Department are teaming up to raise money to give kids free swim lessons at any city pool. That is from 9 this morning until noon. Might be a little chilly for people washing a car out there. Or you can take aim with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. It is the 3rd year the department is hosting its clay shooting to raise money for the county's youth development program. Check-in and breakfast starts at 7:30. The clay shooting starts at 9. And Natalie, we've been talking about the temperatures. A little cooler than average this morning.
Very much so. A chilly start out there. Cooler than average, but I do think as we get towards this afternoon and eventually make our way into the afternoon in the days to come, I do think it's only going to get more and more mild, more coaching the Sunshine State.
All right, Natalie, so watch this. This is cool if it all comes together the way it's supposed to. This weekend, thousands of photographers and spectators from all over, they're going to be at Yosemite National Park in California trying to take in this incredible sight. It is the famous Firefall. Every mid to late February, the snowpacks, they start to melt and they form the Horsetail Falls on the side of Yosemite's iconic El Capitan. Then the walls of the canyon block out most of the sunlight, allowing just enough to reflect on the water, and that is what lights the waterfall up to look like it's actually lava. It's not,
It looks so real.
Doesn't that look? Yeah. The peak viewing period is this weekend, but a lack of rain and snow this year means that there may not be a waterfall at all. So we'll have to see.
Could be impacted. Wow.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it was lava.
Right.
It is not. All right, so this next story here, you probably heard about Caden Bales this week. He is the 9-year-old boy from Australia who was bullied so much that he said he wanted to kill himself. So his mom posted the video of him crying. Long story short, the internet came through. They raised more than $360,000 for him to go to Disneyland. Well, now there are people who are saying it was all a scam, that he faked it. Our Jason Puckett, he looked into it. He found this story is true. People are online, they're saying that he's actually not 9, but really 18. That's not true. In several videos, we can see his date of birth. Also, Caden's family, they never asked for money. They simply posted the video. They wanted to raise awareness for bullying. Someone else started the fundraiser and claims to be giving any of the excess money raised to charity. Hey, thanks for waking up on the bright side. As always, please enjoy the rest of your Saturday. You will.
I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm here.